Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be update number 1 in the 2021 Partners in Cream project pan. I'm sure you guys know by now this project was created by the beautiful Steph DaLin, who is also Outward Processing here on YouTube. If for some reason you have not checked out their channels, they will both be linked down below. Highly recommend both of their channels. And there will also be a playlist for everyone else who is currently participating. This has become a huge collaborative effort, and I highly recommend checking out everyone else who is participating, especially if you just love to binge watch project panning content, because I don't know who doesn't. If you've never heard of this project before, essentially the whole idea about this project is that we work on 4 to 6 items that are cream or liquid based. So basically the only rule of this project is no powder products. And I do have some good progress to share with you guys today. This is a rolling style project. I don't have anything I'll be rolling out today, but I do have some progress that I'm really excited to share with you. So if you are interested, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you love project panning content, or you just like to chit chat about makeup, I would love if you would consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's just get into the video. Quick preface, you guys, I've said this in all of my most recent project pan updates. I was weighing in like ounces instead of grams, so my weights, we might not get to go a lot by weight for this update, but going forward I'll be weighing in grams, so hopefully we'll be able to use weights as another way to track progress in the future. I feel like such an idiot for that. Also, if you just like project panning content, I'll have all of my current projects that I'm working on linked down below in case you're interested in just watching some more project panning content. There'll be lots linked down below. But I want to start off with my progress on this Super Shock shadow. So I said in the introduction that I was just going to continually roll in Super Shock shadows throughout the course of this project. And I was starting with Flower Child, which is obviously a ColourPop Super Shock shadow, from their like Sunflower palette collection. I don't think there's any progress on this because for some reason I thought I had selected a different ColourPop Super Shock shadow to work on, and I was working on that one instead. And by working on it, I mean I used it one time, but I didn't use this any times because I forgot that this was the one I chose to work on. So not exciting progress there, but hopefully next month we will have better progress on this one. This is a really beautiful shade, and one that I think will be really wearable every single day. Or one that I know will be wearable for every day. That's what it looks like right there. Just a really beautiful neutral champagne. Looks super wet. This could be like a one and done shadow or just paired with a really neutral eye look. So hopefully I'll have better progress next update, maybe even a pan. Sometimes ColourPop Super Shock shadows go really quickly. Sometimes they take forever. Next up I have this Fenty Gloss Bomb Mini. I also said I kind of just want to rotate in my mini gloss bombs throughout the year and try and pan some of my lip glosses, specifically my gloss bombs, because I have so many of them, so many minis, because I've picked up the holiday set the last 2 years. So I started with the shade Cake Shake, and I have been using this, not a ton. My one gripe with the mini Fenty gloss bombs is I feel like you have to take the stopper out of these pretty early on, because for some reason, I don't know if it's like a flaw with the packaging or the size of the doe foot and the size of whatever, but you just don't get a lot of product for too much. But then once you take the stopper out, there's so much product left in there. This is what the shade looks like. It's just a really beautiful neutral shade. It kind of reminds me a lot of the original Fenty shade. No changes in ounces on this one, but it is currently weighing in at 24 grams. I feel like if I were to focus pretty heavily on this, I could have this one moved out by probably not the next update, but the update after that. I have been really honing in on my lip product categories just because I'm currently on a lip product no-buy, and I'm really trying to get through some of my lip products in my collection, because my lip product collection is one that feels very overwhelming to me. So I do really want to focus on this one. I would say I focused on this more the second half of the month. I kind of neglected it the first half of the month. So hoping to have more progress to share with you guys next update. This one is kind of exciting because I never envisioned myself finishing a liquid shadow before it dries out. I feel like a lot of times in the past my Stila like glittering glows have dried out. So this is one of the Wander Beauty liquid shadows, and when I rolled it in, I had my marking as right there, and you can see I've made some good progress on this one. So there wasn't any change in the ounces, but this one is currently weighing in at 16 grams, and I actually did remove the stopper on this one, and I don't know how well you may or may not be able to see down, probably not very well, down in here, but there is not a lot of product left on this with the exception of like what's coating the walls. The palettes that I have that I'm testing out and working on for review for this next month, I realize are all very like mauve and purple toned too. So this can serve as a really good base for many of those looks. And I feel like I could potentially have this be an empty at the end of February, which would be super, super exciting. Stay tuned. I still need to like stay focused on this because this is something I can definitely forget about and forget to reach for, but I'm really proud of my progress on this one. Next up, I have this lip product from Kaja. This is their Earheart lipstick in the shade number 1 Sweetheart. It's this really cute heart-shaped lipstick. There is the shade right there. I really enjoy the shade, but this almost has like a really light moussey texture to it, and I just do not find that this stays on the lips at all. I feel like I constantly have to reapply this. It does feel nice and comfortable on the lips. It's not drying by any means, but it just does, it has no lasting power, so it just isn't of much value to me. When you guys see my markings, you'll see that I did make some progress on this. I would say I made like a millimeter or two, like used about a millimeter or two of product on this. I actually used this as a cream blush today and then layered a really light blush on top of this. I've used this as a cream blush a couple of times, and then I've also used it on my lips a couple of times. I still do feel like I have a good amount of progress or product left in this, but also not like the most. This will definitely take a few more updates, and I'll have to continue to use it both as a lip product and on my cheeks. I feel like to continue to see good progress here. Lip products, especially full size, are always so hard for me to get through. But again, I'm really trying to hone in on my lip category and get things out of my collection that I'm just not going to repurchase or be really interested in using beyond when I finish them. I forgot to mention with my Wander Beauty liquid eyeshadow, this weighed in at 0.6 ounces, and when I weighed it this past update, it weighed in at 0.5 ounces, so there definitely was some movement in terms of product, some like visible movement that we could see in the weight. And the current weight on this one, I'm looking at my phone, sorry. The current new weight on this is 16 grams. And then there was no weight change in ounces on the Earheart lip product, and this is currently weighing in at 22 grams. Next up, we have my RMS Living Luminizer Quad. You guys know I rave about this quad all the time on my channel, and my goal is just to hit pan on these two highlighter shades, which are some of my favorites. I've been using this a ton. There was no change in weight in terms of ounces. This is currently weighing in at 49 grams, and I feel like I am so stinking close to pan on both of these. I've said if I use these up, I definitely would purchase the Living Luminizer Quad in the full size, just because I really enjoy these highlighters. It looks very well loved, and I'm hoping by next update I could potentially roll this out, because I truly believe I could, with just a little bit of effort, hit pan on both highlighters within this quad, which would be really exciting. And then the final product, which is really exciting because it has very visible progress, is this one from Tarte. This is the Tarte Double Duty Primer. You can see my markings there. Hopefully here is where we were when we started, and we are all the way up here. So I would say I probably still have maybe 3 more months of progress to be able to finish this off. My goal is to finish this off. This did weigh in at 2.6 ounces when I rolled it in the introduction, and now it is weighing in at 2.2 ounces, or I believe 64 grams. Yes, 64 grams. I have mostly been using this sometimes in the morning just as my moisturizer. It is really moisturizing, but sometimes if I'm not in a huge rush to do my makeup, I will put this on. I usually do my eye makeup first. I'll put this on after a moisturizer while I do my eye makeup, let it set in, and then usually I go over top with a more smoothing primer. This is probably not something that I personally would repurchase. I feel like my skincare does enough for me in terms of moisturizing that I would never opt for a primer that sole purpose is to moisturize. I would like something, I love when a primer is moisturizing as well as like smoothing or gripping or whatever it might be, but for me this is just the only purpose of this primer is that it's moisturizing, so it's not something I would repurchase, but I will be really excited to move this out of my collection because you guys know I love primers. My primer collection is always out of control. I'm always wanting to test new primers, so it's always exciting when I'm able to finish one off. All right, and that is going to wrap it up for today's update for this Partners in Cream project pan. I am hoping by the next update I will at least be able to roll out the Living Luminizer Quad and hopefully, fingers crossed, the Wander Beauty liquid shadow as well. So I'm proud of my progress this update, but I'm hoping that we have a more exciting update in March where I can actually roll in some new items. If you guys are doing this project, if you're following along, let me know if you've recently finished up any makeup, whether or not it's through a project pan or whatever it might be. I would love to hear what you guys are finishing in the very beginning of this year. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.